Tradwives are women who embrace traditional gender roles, focusing on homemaking, childcare, and supporting their husband as the primary breadwinner. Think the opposite of Bonnie Blue. Well, maybe. It's different, okay? I guess they're both getting fucked.
This video is in defense of these tradwives, clearly. And why, you may ask? Well, it's because I think I'm becoming one. Now, am I saying that every woman should become a tradwife? No, God, no, it is awful. I have had but a taste, and I am considering taste testing gun barrels. I'm just saying we should cut these ladies some slack, okay? And you're not weak if you're not one, and you never want to be one. In fact, I think you're a pretty rational person, because I do think there is more to life than doing chores for hubby and the shit goblins, okay? We still need doctors and engineers. We can't all be middle-aged women that call the police on children trying to sell lemonade.
It's a freaking lemonade stand. Give me a break.
The point I'm trying to make is simply, as beautiful and as aesthetic as the tradwife lifestyle seems to be, I think it is much more difficult and much worse than it looks. One woman I definitely think loves it, but to her we will get later.
Who's that Pokemon?
Some people this can work for, they love the rules, the structure and all that, and some people think they'll really enjoy it. Some people also think they can fight a lion with their hands and win. And that's moronic. And this, well, this is Mormonic. Get it? Because they're all Mormons? They're Mormons. It's about the Mormonism.
The Mormon religion, famous for Secret Lives of Mormon Wives and Joseph Smith, who at 14 found gold tablets in the woods behind his house and then translated those into what we now know as their religious text, the Book of Mormon, the foundation for their entire religion. What were you doing at 14? I tell you, I was not reading a religious text. These teachings of Mormonism focus very heavily on traditional gender roles, especially when it comes to the home. Now, I do think some people enjoy the tradwife lifestyle and everything that comes with it. However, I do also think that some Mormon ladies have been taught how to be and behave from the start, and that is now why they find themselves in this situation. The only proper way to live. And I know a lot of people out there will say, but she has a choice. No one is forcing her to live like that. Yeah, you are right. However, when you are raised from birth, again, to think a certain way with your church leaders saying things like this.
There is no more beautiful picture than that of a good woman cooking a meal. This one's from Joseph Smith about his wife not accepting polygamy. But if she will not abide this commandment, she shall be destroyed. There are no greater roles for a woman than those of wife and mother. Put your homes in order. If mother is working outside of the home, see if there are ways to change that.
Maybe that and the fact that everyone around you or maybe your whole state thinks and lives a certain way might make you feel like you have to conform and live that way too. Which can be amazing. Many people do really benefit from this structured environment and society with the rules and the amazing sexy sleepwear. But can we really blame them for that? How many red flags have you ignored when you're wearing rose-tinted glasses? Maybe it's the same for them, living a lifestyle they feel obligated to live by because of duty. And it might not be as amazing as it seems, and that's exactly the criticism that you're seeing about this online. A large amount of the criticism online towards this is actually based on the fact that these women might be undermining feminism with a highly unrealistic and highly curated vision of domestic lifestyle, which economically just does not feel unattainable for many people at the moment. Hannah Nealman. Scroll through her TikTok or Instagram and you'll mostly see the fantasy. Homemade bread, pastoral bliss, and feminine devotion. That is until you stumble across the now infamous gift video with the husband.
Okay, that's my birthday present from Daniel. Hoping they're tickets to Greece. So, plane tickets? Ooh, a hat I can wear in Greece. Oh, my A-game friend!
Eggs in it.
Great, then you can gather eggs.
So cute. It's really cute. It's a cute one.
That's the best. You're welcome.
Or the New York Times article with the husband. Or the fact if you realize she has 8 kids. 8!
Why has this woman ever laid down? Apparently the fields and the farm aren't the only things getting ploughed. Now Miss Farms and her husband, who I could not bother learning the name of, went quite viral over a little gift exchange of an egg apron. Something I didn't know existed. Because, you know, I don't know. Basket? It's the little basket we keep our eggs in. See, they actually come in a carton. We don't have a chicken, but like to make it feel homey for the missus, because she deserves it. Anyway, after the video, things actually only seemed to get worse when the Times published an article on them, and apparently it was quite bad. I could not read the article because it's behind a paywall and I don't have money for that. The article was supposed to be about Miss Ballerina Farms, but it seems Dr. Dipshit, the husband, would barely let her speak. Men, am I right? So it gave off the impression that tradwives are just submissive and only there to serve, something that online critics and feminists have been quite vocal about. Look, this lady clearly loves her children and clearly loves taking care of them, but it also does seem like she misses her own autonomy because of things like, I don't know, the fact that Dimple Dumbfuck turned her at-home ballerina studio, which is insane to have. It's really cool, but she had it anyway. Turn that into the homeschooling center for the kids. Because why does she get to do what she wants? All of this while, of course, he does have the whole farm to pursue his lifelong passion of being a rancher or a cowboy. I don't know. I don't really care about this man. He is quite annoying. Also, guess who the teacher would be? That's right, the same mother taking care of all 8 children by herself. Because of course hubby can't help, he's out there tending to the cows and probably thinking of new ways to trap this poor woman with his daddy's money. That's right, he's a Nepo baby because of course he has to be that as well. So clearly it is not the picture-perfect dream lifestyle. Someone online described the situation from an onlooker's perspective as that she is the ballerina in the music box that he keeps by his bedside, only there for his entertainment. Also, the way their relationship started proves a fun little other antidote that you're not creepy, you're just poor, because he did essentially stalk her. They met at a college basketball game through a mutual friend, as per the Times, and yes, I am quoting someone that is quoting someone that is quoting the Times, because I will not pay for it. I'd rather wipe with sandpaper. However, their first date wasn't until quite a few months later on a JetBlue flight, with whom Daniel got a seat on through his connections to the JetBlue founder, who's his father. He arranged for him and her to be seated right next to each other. That was their first date. They were married 3 months after their first date, and Hannah became the first pregnant student at Juilliard. They started their family in Rio de Janeiro, where Daniel, that's his name, worked for his father's security company. Mormon nepotism things. Eventually they settled on their 328-acre farm in Utah, where they now sell meat, dairy, and kitchen appliances through their influencer empire. Deplorable, really. Everyone wants to act like it is this amazing, picture-perfect, beautiful lifestyle because that's what it looks like online, but really, if you look through the cracks, it's not as great as it seems. To be fair, there are some people that do just love this shit. And that's where this whole tradwife lifestyle online isn't as clear-cut as it may seem. A big thing that you notice with these tradwife lifestyle influencers is a big following online and of course raking in millions of views, and with that comes monetization. How very traditional and dependent of them. As one of the big cornerstones of this whole aesthetic, of course, is the husband being the sole provider. He works while you take care of the kids. He is the main breadwinner. But it seems like a lot of these ladies are, they're getting some bread. As of 2025, Nara Smith has a net worth of $6 million, and Hannah Nealman of Ballerina Farms is making over $850,000 a year through their TikTok videos alone. We can't really talk about tradwives without mentioning the queen of tradwifery.
Who's that Pokemon? It's
Nara, why the fuck are you wearing that cooking, Smith? I'm going to admit, there's only really 3 things I know about Mrs. Smith. 1, she dresses like a fairy while baking biscuits. 2, she names her children like Sims characters. And 3, screen recording her videos in a dark room made me feel dirty.
Asked my husband what he wanted for lunch today. He said he wasn't too hungry, and all he wanted was a small Caesar salad with some protein. So I started by spatchcocking my chicken.
This feels wrong. But I think it's safe to say Nara is one of the main driving forces for the tradwife aesthetic's popularity worldwide. Because she's like a tradwife, but not, you know? Trad-light, some would say. And when I say this lady is whimsical, I am doing her a gross disservice.
My daughter came home and asked me what a candy bracelet is. I knew it was time to finally show her.
Like I've slightly mentioned, Nara is most well known for dressing like a storybook character while cooking, which really ups the intrigue because you're mostly like, how are you cooking in that? What? Well, how are you in the kitchen in the very flammable outfit? Is the Met Gala 3 minutes after this?
When I was younger, looking at the weather, it was one of those husbands been craving. Parents just landed.
But I do think other than the fashion show, another real driver here is what she is making, because it seems like everything and anything. She made cereal from scratch and bubblegum, and I'm sure even Coca-Cola. Verdict's still out if there's cocaine in it or not.
My husband mentioned that he was craving Coca-Cola the other day, and since we were out of soda, I decided to just make him some today. I started by making some caramel sugar, some water, some sugars, all of my zested citrus, some malic and citric acid. Once it was cool, I topped it with sparkling water, but you can also use soda water, and this tasted exactly like Coke, and Lucky was so impressed by it that he had to have another glass.
Nara seems to me like a gateway drug into the tradwife lifestyle, because she's doing tradwife but not in the barn with the fucking wood fire oven. She's in a modern kitchen in a ball gown making candy bracelets. Okay, and it seems like she really loves this shit. I think that's why she's the most popular tradwife influencer and the first person that people think of when they think of tradwife aesthetic. And she actually has to make everything from scratch because she has an autoimmune disease, which other than that, doesn't seem like she's being forced into living this lifestyle. And the hubby. The husband also does feature in some of these videos. He's sometimes helping them in the kitchen, look gorgeous little twink. Lucky Blue Smith is his name. He's a model. So he's also out there getting his bag in their own unique way. And it seems like both of them are just living their life together, but also doing their own things within their own free will. I just worry that they're selling a lifestyle that's not as attainable for all people in this day and age. I haven't even brought up the dishes of the labor requirements. Just for that is infuriating. I don't know who's washing all of that. I mean, making ice cream from scratch and having all those dishes and then having to clean the house at the same time. Who's doing all of that?
I think the upside to this entire tradwife aesthetic is simply this: choice. You have the choice to do whatever you want. You are no longer being forced down a particular path that you have to live. You can choose how you want to empower yourself. And to some people, that might mean taking on the difficult task of homemaking, child rearing, and homeschooling. And if that is your choice, more power to you. I do think a lot of negative attention is placed on these ladies because it might seem that they are forced into living this lifestyle. And while upbringing does play a major role in it all, the simple fact is this might actually be their choice. This might be how they choose to empower themselves. Because right now it's much easier to not live this lifestyle. In fact, it is much harder to do this, and the fact is we're overlooking the care and dedication that does go into them doing this. Something I do think is being missed and not given the respect it deserves by many opinions and people online. Maybe this is the form of female empowerment they choose to live, one where they are the center stone of the family, the powerhouse that drives it and keeps moving it from inside the home. A life choice with many sacrifices and missed opportunities because it just simply cannot be as luxurious as it looks. They have to juggle many things. That, or you have a secret nanny and this is all curated content ready for clicks. And we clicked. Okay, bye-bye.